Hi, welcome back. On this video, I'm going to create the REST API. So what is REST API? The REST API feature on IIB let you to create and manage simple RESTful web interface for your program. This interface work like a waitress or waiter and your restaurant. Taking order would be like a request and delivering mail would be like a response. So between different systems, it make it easier for a different program to talk to each other over the internet. So like enable the communication between client and service. So as a HTTP base, we will create it. You will know how to create it. So just like come to file menu and say new, come to REST API option. Just click on it and give any name to it. Let's say REST API, and make sure to remember that this is our base URL. You could change it right now. They give you like the name of your application and the version. You could change it to anything, and this is the version. This is the Swagger file, because RESTful API, the integration server that we create SOAP, that was like a WSDL that has, but this one has a Swagger file, like similar like a web service. The integration service that we create, if you have a WSDL, you do not need it to create it from a scratch. You just import it. You will create it from there, like as we did it on an integration service. We will create a manually also, like a SOAP base request, and we will create a WSDL. And also we will do the same thing for the Swagger file. Once we create a Swagger file, then we will import it. You will see it how you do it from right here, but right now we will do it from a scratch, because this is my first version. Leave it as a first version, and this is my base URL. It is good, my application name, and this is the version 1. And let's say finish. Once we say finish, just say we have a resources, we have a model definition, we have a error handling and security. So because this service is based on resources, resource was like a operation that we create on an integration service. We just click right here. They will tell you because since we don't have it, just say click. They give you the option to create it. Upstairs there's a base URL. This is your title, your application name. This is a kind of description. You could give it any description you want, clean, and give it another one. You could read description required if you want to push the REST API. And this is the version. So you could give it to him. And you could access the operation on REST API by pointing your web service. You see, they give you the host name. Say HTTP must have a host and port number, and REST API you must add your endpoint as well, like the server, the resource you create, you will add it to it. So just remember, this is the way we will access it. So let's go to resource and modeling. Like if you're familiar with coding wise, the model, like we create a model for resources like a request or model. Let's like for example, if you use a different language, I don't want to make you confused. That's just like a mapping to your resource. You will create your payload, and your payload would be even to a schema payload, like how you want it, how you want to mapping it. So you could read about that one, but you will see it what we do. So let's do it practically, you will understand it. So resource, just click right here. I say create new resource. We on a REST API we have a different operation, like method on that. Like we have a get is for reading data. Do not do anything. Just if you want to read data from your table or ESQL, you could read it. Post is like putting the editing data, updating data, doing all the stuff. On post and put do same thing. Delete is delete option, and head and pitch. But this 4 is very important: get, post, put, delete. speech is also getting a data is partially updating too, but you could read about the other option, but most likely this 4 option you must know it. Read, it is like a update and also insert data, and update and insert and delete it. And on a gate we will create 2 type of service. One from a let's create it, you will see it, but we will create it 2 type of service. One, the first one would be, we add parameter to our endpoint. How we want to add it? We need to mention anything. Let's say I want to say get. You could say read, anything you could pick, read, but I want to put get, then / because I want to pass parameter on my endpoint. So that's why after that you have to use the curly braces, and after that you need to name it anything. You say ID or number, you could put anything. So we will say get, after that we give them ID. You will see it how we do it that. But this operation that I want to create it, the name would be get and ID. You will see it. Say apply. Now let's go back. We have now the get, and if you open it, we have a 2 thing right here, response and request. This is only has a response. You see there's a there's only, you see, response. We send a request, they give me right away response. The response will be 200 successful, and that would be string. This is the way. And let's create another service too. And the second also I want to get it, I will call them get 2. So you will know it why I named them, but this is will be added to my parameter, but make sure you know it. That would be get 2. Just say apply. Let's close it. Now we have a 2. I will tell you why I did it. This one would get from a query, and this would get from the parameter on the. I will show you how we do this. There's a 2 different way we get the ID from. So let's create one post too. I will call them. You could call them insert data. You call them anything, and say okay. Now we create 3. This is the, let's read that one, and this also has a request body and response body. This you could create your like a request body message, JSON message to it and add it. You could leave it and type it manually. I don't think there is any problem to it, but it's good to have the model. Right now we will create the model how we look. Just come to right here model and name it. The first one would be request. I will say request body. Let's name it request body. Is related in case this not cause me any issue. Okay, just say and enter request body. You could name it anything, but this would have an element. Right now let's create element. As it has a 1 element, what we create, let's check. Let me show you this. I wanna, like when I say request body, I wanna pull all this information. That's as a person, person ID, first name, phone, and address. I wanna pull all that information to my right here. So the first would be ID. If you come right here again on a plus sign, let's create everything. This is come on the wrong place. I don't want a complex type. Let's delete that back and leave that one right here. Say again and leave that one right here. Again, leave that one right here, and again. Now we have it 4 type. Let's add this name to it and name it, and let's add this name to it. This is a label name. You could label your request body to anything, like label it right here. Pattern is array those type and type. This is the ID. I want to make it how it go. Okay, this is the ID. Y is object. This is not the object. This is the first name. I want to make it integer. So this is the object. This is the my property of the object. So this string is fine. This data type you could allow them. Allow is null, like empty is allow, or other is required or not required. So you could make it. If so, save that one. We want to create response too. We already create, and we want to create response as well. And let's click right here again and name it response. Now we have a request body and response. Let's give them one parameter, like once we put the data, we will say data is success element. Just say message, anything you could say. Save it, and it's a string. Once you will see it. Come back to your post, and from right here we already have it. The body we will link it to request body. Respond we will link it to response, and save it. Now we create three get ID with a parameter on the endpoint and get ID. I will show you how you pass the parameter right here. And there's the post type, we call them insert data. So save that one. If you come on this side and before we do that, leave that right here. Let's come right here. We will see it similar like integration. They give me resources and my flu REST API catalog and other resources. This is my Swagger file, and this is my flu. If you open it, it will look like that. We don't have anything up to this point. And this is my, leave that one, and this is my Swagger file. It look like that, and you will see it. Let's say copy Swagger file, come right here and say Swagger editor. Just go on a Google, say Swagger editor, click and close that one, paste it right here. It will now our Swagger file look like that. See, it's a get with the ID and a parameter, and get and post. If you want to try it, open it and say try. You see our body look like right here. Try it. Our body will look right like this, and our response will be like that. And our parameter is, see, insert data. That's our endpoint URL. So we will copy that one and come back right here, close the Swagger file, and with the let's go back to REST API and let's create a subflow. You see that right here, you come create a subflow, create it one. Let's create all the subflow. I need to go back and forth. Let's open that one too. Let's create all the subflow. Save that one as well. And there's one other subflow. Create this one as well. Now we create all three subflow. Close it and come back to your flow and open it. See, now we have a three subflow. One is a get to, and one is a get ID and post. And let's start it with the post first. Click on it and drag it. Let's put the transformation compute node. Open it, and if you want to use the code, is fine, but I don't think we're gonna use it. So the JSON message, This is the JSON type of message. Let me bring the JSON for you. How because it's a key value pair. We do not mention right away like employee, then we just give them like a XML type. Right away we drop them on a bracket, you see, then we name it key. This is the value when give it them comma. First name is a key, then value, key value pair. It's a very light data type of format. Also, if you come right here, they already pick everything. There's a JSON. The message parsing is already picked JSON for us. We could change it to different thing, but this is a JSON. Let me use the JSON. And you could learn JSON more on a but if this stuff is repeating, if this is repeating, if it's array, you just add array. And what I mean by this one, if is this repeating, copy, let's cut that one. This is the array. I mean, if this is a repeating, then comma it again. So I don't want to go more in JSON. So this is the one, and so you could learn more on about JSON on let me bring it for you. JSON. So JSON stands for the JavaScript Object Notation. Java is a text format for storing, transforming data. JSON is self-describing. It's easy to understand, of course. We start with a tag, and the name value pair is the name John, age 30, and core is don't have a core. It will look like that, 3 property. And if you want to learn more, just go right here and let's learn syntax. This is the syntax, name value pair. And so let's have it look with the XML. So compared, we say employee. Let's make it bigger. You see, we say right here employee, right here we just add, you see right here, then after that we add key value, then after that, because it's array, because 1 2 3, we add it to array, because this become our value to employee. Similar as an employee tag is coming, but this tag is keep repeating, but right here is not repeating. You just add it one time, then you add array. After array you just keep adding your value. That become the item of this. There's an employee that item 1, employee item 2, employee item 3 on a IIB, like that. You will see that we will get it. You see, if you compare it, the work like that. This is the array type. That's why I didn't get confused. If it's more, you could take one. I will add only simple. This value would be, this is itself is a JSON. Just take it up to this point is a one JSON data format. That would be first name John, last name this guy. Okay, I hope it's a little bit clear. So this has a person name, ID, and last name, and a first PUN ID, first name, PUN, and address. First, the data would come. Let's declare input. Declare input, reference it to this is we use it on a many place. This time not XML, we will pick JSON, but we usually XML go only XML, but this has a data. We say data. After that we pick the tag, because there we don't have the main tag because it's not array. After data will come data dot first name, data dot first name, phone number, and address. Up to this point is fine. And we also need to create output data. Let's create it. Output first dot is a JSON also, and data. We're gonna point it to up to data too, and reference it. Declare variable output, reference it to this. So the idea is we will send the data from outside. Once we get data, we want to insert it to our database. How we do that? So as we already know about the insert statement, just put in and tap, that will come insert. Insert into table. Table first start with database. If you pick the and then the DNS name, my DNS. Let's pick it up from right here. My DNS name. This is the DNS I create. I'm sure you guys know how to. Okay, my DNS name, then my schema name, then my table name. My table name is see, my schema name is Mayar, my table name is person. I think it was persons. And then it's already give me the tag. We just like how many tag this has as a first name, just copy, add it right here. If you don't want it, don't add it right here. If you add it, you must add the value to it. Then there's no option. Copy. Now we need to 1 2 3 4, we need to add 4 value to that. So value would come from input. Say input copy input dot, because it's up to data, right away that will come to ID data, then comma, let's enter it, you will see it. Okay, comma, let's add it 4 times and clean this one. First name, input that, and that phone. Copy paste is fine because you know we will not do the typing a mistake, so use the copy paste is fine. So once we insert that one, we want to send the message data is inserted successfully. So that way, because also if you come on a Swagger file, because as a in a Swagger file we have this, we need to send it on that, but there's you could send it on different way too, but it's but we will send it through similar step because we created this would be our body. This is optional. You could add different type of response to your JSON, because JSON don't have validation like SOAP had with the schema. This has no validation, but at version 12 I think this option come, you could validate it through Swagger file. You need to create a Swagger file, and whatever the whistle does, now you could do that one as well. So once this is insert to our schema, I just wanna send a message outside. I say data is inserted successfully, and we need to set it. It's better to use all computer. for I want to do our coding. Data is inserted successfully. Data is okay. Now I think everything is done. Let's deploy it and see if there's any issue. I hope not. Change. Okay, what is the problem? Not content board for deploying with the resource. I think the problem is right here. Just come to and click. We had that one. We didn't. Where's the problem? Data value. What is it? Data source. We didn't have data source. That's why. This caused the issue. What was the data source name? I'll take this data, add it to this one. See, now it's fine. Deploy it. Successful. Let's add the breakpoint to this point, to right here. And let me add a breakpoint right here too. You will see it. So we want to use the REST API. How should we do the REST API? I mean the SOAP, and my bad. So you come and say REST. Now we give them URL. If you go back and one more and make sure let me bring the console. On a console we write same thing, MQSI report property broker minus our execution group and run it, because this is the REST. When it says REST, you see our port number is like it had to be 7080, but for some reason they sent me this port number, and this is our URL. We need to sign this port number. We come to SOAP and say HTTP. Let's, you know what do we do? Because I'm gonna copy paste HTTP. Okay, let me copy that one and bring changes. And HTTP localhost, that was the port number 70. Let's check what was the port number. Port number was this 7801, and paste it. 7801. We need to add our base URL. That's our base URL, and copy, and let's add our endpoint as well. If you go to Swaggerfy, it will help you out how to get the endpoint. You see, there's our endpoint, which we gave it for our operation name. That was our operation name. If backward slash HTTP localhost, because it's local, and give my port number and as a base URL, and say okay. Now, because we have a method, a get, post, delete, you could pick anything. I want to pick post, and a get, you see, you don't pick. There's a no body on a get. On a post, you have a space to write your message. Let's close that one, and to Swagger file, open that one and copy that one. Come right here, paste it. Give them ID 333 and give them a name, John. Let's pick Khan and pick Omid, and address is 44 Street. Once we did that, we want to insert it. So we want to insert that one to our database. Go right here and say select all and enter it. Now we don't have that. We have a John, but we don't have a Khan. And ID is 333. Let's insert it and come to JSON. Okay, there's some mistake. We will check it. What is it? Because data terminate. Let's add breakpoint to it. We did the post breakpoint to it, and once again deploy it. It's fine. Okay, now still what is the issue on localhost w? If there's any mistake, hit to insert. Okay, the problem is with the port number. I put back the default port number 7080. So let's change the data to 77 and pick Karim Agha, and the address is living on a, this is address is live. Let's run it and see. Okay, it's working. When this come up, just click edit and say add and come to message folder and pick your application REST API. Now the request come up and they're already using the local environment. Just check, there's nothing on that. There is a lot of things on it. Just open it and we have destination data via HTTP, and this is a kind of from what service they're using, like message request identifier, and this is the destination data, label name, post insert data. We have all this type of information it provides. Come to message, they give me JSON with that kind of data. Let's and go to our service. We come to our post. Let's get enter and get into it, and we got a data. Now we want to insert it to it. So we insert data. We want to send message insert successfully. So let's see. JSON not yet. Say complete and come back. Must give me the okay, and let me take the breakpoint. Because I don't need it. I want to see the now let's send it. Now data is insert successful. I'm sure there's insert 2 times. Let's check on our SQL and run it. See Karim insert 2 times. And so this one worked fine. Let's work with a get. So with a get we have a tool. Let's start with the first one. We will just give them the ID on a endpoint. So let's give a breakpoint to this one because I don't have anything right here. Let's save it and give breakpoint. I just wanna I just want to show you something on a, because when we use get and save it, let's use get. Right now this was the post, so I want to use get. Where's the get? Right here. And go back to your Swagger file, and I want to use this one. We will pass our ID, like for example, HTTPS, and we want to pass our ID right here, like /24 about forward slash. So that will pull up the ID that has a data with 84. They will give this data to us. So let's do how we do that. And so we get a come to Swaggerify. This is our base URL. Right here we just clean up to this point. We use the ID right now. What is, let's say I want a data of 88. So because also pay attention, has no body, just we want to send it. We will send that ID parameter on a endpoint, and let's run and see. You see the request come up because it's for only read. This is very important to remember, because we want to catch the ID on a local environment. We on a rest, on an input, on a parameter, they gave us the ID because we use our parameter on the endpoint, like this one. You see at the end, now they give us this our URL. On the URL at the end, we just signed them the parameter. We could do that. So we will catch that one, like rest input and parameter equal to ID. Once we get that one, we pull out the data for this one. How we want to do, leave that open. So come to your, let's say one more that would come, just go one more. No, okay, let's resend it, because then I will code at the same time. Okay, we will leave it like that. Just come to your Git and open, go to your code, clean up this code. We don't want it. Now we just want to add some of the other, like we don't want to write the repeat code, so just wanna skip it. Let's say up to this point. Copy, come to your Git and paste it right here. Let's make it bigger. Now we have already referenced it to a JSON, the input, which we don't need that one, but leave it like that it is. And let's declare ID, because we want to assign this ID, that number, to our one data variable. Say person ID, let's put, because double T, a person, let's person, okay, person ID, and as a car, and save it. And we want to set this location is a local environment. This is a local environment. We want to set that location to it. We want to assign this ID to it. is a input. We want to get it from a local environment. Come on, local environment dot after that is a local environment, is a destination. A local environment, let me get bigger. Local environment is on a rest, local and rest. Copy. So local environment rest. After rest is input, you just copy it. After just make it bigger. It's gonna come local environment rest input and parameter. And after that is ID. So we assign the ID to a person ID. So that way we know what ID you're asking for. You might change it to another one, like 777-333-444. Anytime you change it, that we will assign it to right here. So now we wanna select all the data that come from right here. Now, how you do that? Let's finish that one. Finish that one and come back. So now we have more space. And say select, because no, first time we just, because we wanna, when data come up, we wanna assign it to the variable. So that's why we wanna use the raw type variable. So declare. You could call them anything. I will, let's say table data. It's a person. I don't want to give big name. Just say data. Person data. And is a row type. Now we wanna set everything that come to this row type. And because it's array, we give them the on the array type. So let's say result or record or whatever you like to. Records equal to, say select. You see when you put an S and they give you the option. Say select. I want to pick this one. Select everything from a specific location. Let's say select, and we will use kind of code, some same code on the we want to use this and close it. So we want to select everything, like you could say select, just say like select everything or put a alias. I say select data from database, DNS name, my schema name, my table name as a D, the alias as I gave it right here, and where the ID equal to, you know, like, because the data when it come, it work like that, like D I come back to your ID equal this person I list, because this ID would be very unique. We will get it through right here. This ID, table ID, is equal to the IDs coming from endpoint URL. Once this match this one, give me all the data of this person and sign it to right here. It says like that. Then we after that we will display all data to the user. How we do that? As a person, on a same manner we wanna display it. Let's set person dot set person dot and data come from data gets signed right here. I said this guy back to person. Make sure the spelling is not wrong. Take, because I take same thing from right here, that's why you shouldn't be wrong. Say dot, I want, and get the first name, get the last name. You could pool number, you could use the F2. I will use the F because in case there's a no IDs matching, what to do. So you will see it, what I mean. Person address, and let's use the F. Let's say if no data with this ID. If no data with this ID, just say there's no data with this ID. Say let's use F else. If you could use as keyword, as data is null. Like if there's a no data on that, just say it, take one of that and say, you could say message, say no data with this ID, no data with this ID, save and gone. But if there is, then do this one. If there is, do this one, but take this one. Copy the one, this will return false, return one, and if it is, return true, because that was propagate to my out terminal. Don't know why this comes right here. We don't need okay, now let's deploy and run. Okay, there is some issue. With the get ID, illegal data list type list, and right here, because this is the list tab, this come as a list, we need to put the list tab, so that's why this will give us the, okay, now it's fine. Let's run it and we will send the ID at 8. Let's check if this is a exist. Okay, this is the exist John string. They will pull the same information for us. Okay, let's complete it, no needed to, and see if they give us exception. Okay, empty JSON context, there is some issue with that. Let's send it again. Okay, now data come, go and set to get ID. Added anything? Okay, let's add breakpoint. It would come. Okay, next let's get in and we give, let's check if the ID catch. Yes, ID signed to person ID. Okay, let's run that one. Let's check if the data come. Okay, data come, p data. Now they pull the data. So what is the, okay, what if this is null? This is not null. If this is null, do this. If not, this has a data. if this is null. One more thing, I did a mistake. I used the input. I must use the output on everything. And this is not null. Let me check. Okay, let's do it like that. We check to failed value, put the person ID. If failed value is null or failed value, they check the value if this the person ID has a value, or empty or 0, then come say no data with this ID, otherwise give us the data. Okay, check the person ID. If there's no ID with this, so we don't have it, and deploy it. And let's give them this data and see and run. Check no data with this name. Let's pick this one and give them name, save on, and they give us ID. So now it's working. So let's do the last one, and we done this one. We add parameter on a endpoint, but let me show you one more thing. Right here you see parameter, we added right here. We will add right here something like, we could put any name like ID, person ID, because we will code it value of idiot. Say close, that would appear right here, person ID right here, and clean this one. Let's run that one, you will see it. And but we will add the, let's get Swagger file. The person, you could find that ID2, you see, get ID2, this one, and put it right here. Now, okay, let's, for some reason, no content. Okay, let's take a little bit longer with this. Copy the one. Swagger. Okay, this is ID2. Send it. Close everything. Close. We wanna come right here. There's nothing. Yeah, breakpoint. Okay. Let's run. Pass ID, we get ID. Okay, the problem is we forward slash we added. Now it come and let me show you something right. Because before the parameter come, because we passed in there, right now we don't have it. So how should we get the data? If you want to get the data, now we want to get it from HTML input, query, and person ID. How we do that? And let's come to we leave it like that. We'll come and add transformation, let's go to let's get all the information from get, but we change one thing, the ID. We only check ID. Okay, it's false. Okay, right now this ID we get it from right here. We will get it now from right here. Just go destination, local environment, HTTP, copy, replace the rest with HTTP, and input is correct, and path is now input and query. Just copy that, take that off. Let's check what it is, and then after query is, we don't know, sometimes they put different stuff right here. Let's use it as a first child. We use this when is that this is the first child. If this is the last child, we use the first child. So anything come, they will code it and put it right here. This value would be signed and put it right here. Save it, run it, and what happened? Okay, we did that, some mistake. Now it's good. Deploy. Okay, let's send it now once again. That I want the idiot. Come, let's run it and see, idiot is coming. Same thing. Let's say we want 888, I believe 777, and you need to do same thing. Double click, once they come you could delete it and add another one. You could add many as you want, like let's say this time I want to use HHH, so anything I want to change it. I want to do 777. This idea exists. You see 777 is 2. Let's see which one is they're gonna cause the issue or not, because which 2 will bring, hopefully not. Let's close that. Seven. Why is not coming? Now it's 77. Okay, let's see what is going on. Let's see. Okay, working fine, but they bring me the first one, they didn't bring me the second one. They bring, yeah, there's a 2 same thing, 77. They bring one of those one, same data. Okay, let's put something 8 to it and close. This is not exist, there would be no data in that. See, no data, fine. Okay, that's all. See you in the next video.